Freeze exactly where you are. No movement, no scrolling, no looking away. Because what happens in the next 60 seconds will determine everything for you. Let everything else fade. Every distraction, every worry, every thought pulling you in a different direction. This moment was not an accident. Nothing about this moment is an accident. Do you understand what just happened? This video passed in front of millions of eyes today, millions with faster reflexes, more spare time, better internet connections. The platform pushed this to over 47 million accounts in the last 3 days. Every single one of those people kept moving. Their thumbs swiped past without hesitation. But you stopped. Your thumb froze in place. Your finger paused mid-swipe. And you had no idea why that happened. That was not your curiosity. That was not boredom or habit. That was something reaching through the screen and grabbing hold of your attention with supernatural force, because there is something contained in this message that has your specific name written on it, something that has been waiting in the spiritual dimension for the exact moment when you would be hurting enough, or desperate enough, or ready enough to finally stop everything and receive it. Out of 47 million people, only 9 were chosen to actually stop. 7 of them lost their nerve and closed this video already. They will spend years wondering why their breakthrough never materialized, and they will never connect it back to this moment. But you are still here. You are the 8th. You are the 9th. And this message was sealed specifically for the soul who made it this far. Type 777 in the comments right now. Not after you finish watching. Not when you feel more comfortable. Right now, while the weight of this moment is still pressing down on you. When those 3 numbers leave your fingers, you are not just leaving a comment. You are entering into a binding agreement. You are signing your name on a document that exists in realms beyond this screen. You are saying out loud, yes, I receive what was prepared for me before the foundation of the world was laid. Type it now. Because I need to tell you something urgent. I know exactly why you are really here, not what you told yourself when you sat down today. You told yourself you were just browsing, just curious, just passing time, but I know the real reason, and the real reason has been building inside you for a very long time. I know because I saw you. I saw you 3 nights ago, somewhere between midnight and 3 in the morning, awake when you should have been sleeping. Not just insomnia, that oppressive weight, that heaviness pressing down on your chest with no logical explanation. You lay there, staring at the ceiling, having the same conversation with yourself that you have been having for months. Is this really it? Is this all there is? How much longer can I endure this? And underneath all those surface questions, one quieter than the rest, barely a whisper. Does anyone actually see me? Am I doing any of this for something real? I heard that question, every version of it, every night you asked it in the darkness, and I have been trying to answer it for exactly 1,826 days. That is the number. That is how long this season has been lasting. 5 years if you are counting in calendar years. 5 years of stretching and straining and almost and not yet. And hold on and wait just a little longer. 5 years of watching people around you step into things that seemed like they were supposed to be yours. I see you. I have always seen you. Hit the like button right now if any of that just landed somewhere deep inside you. That click is your signal flare. That is you saying out loud, yes, this is me. I am here. I receive this. I need you to understand something about yourself that no one has ever told you before. Because you have only been seeing the surface of what has been happening all around you. You have not seen what was moving invisibly behind the scenes. I saw you 6 months ago sitting in your car in a parking lot you did not mean to stop in. You had been driving without a destination because moving felt better than being still. You sat there with your hands gripping the steering wheel for 20 minutes, tired in a way that sleep could not fix. And in that car, in that parking lot, in a life that desperately needed something you could not even name, you whispered something barely audible. But I heard it. You said, if something does not change soon, I do not know how much longer I can keep going. I saw you 3 weeks ago lying awake at 2:47 in the morning, phone face up on your chest, the house completely quiet, everyone else fast asleep, running the numbers that never seem to add up, refreshing your bank account 3 times that night, not expecting the number to change, but because looking at something definite felt better than the uncertainty living inside your head. I saw you in that conversation 2 months ago, where someone said something dismissive about your future, something that sounded like a door slamming shut. You nodded and agreed out loud while something inside you deflated like a punctured balloon. And later that night, you asked the mirror the question I never want you to ask again. Maybe they are right. Maybe I have been believing for something that was never meant for me. I saw you in your spiritual life going through the motions because you did not want to be the kind of person who stops going through the motions, but the words felt hollow. The silence after your prayers felt longer and emptier than ever before. Your tears have a number attached to them. Heaven does not allow one single tear to fall without recording it. Current total, 47,219. Every single one collected. Every single one counted. Every single one stored in vessels that have not yet been opened. Because the tears that fell in the hardest seasons are not wasted. What is stored gets released. What was taken gets returned, multiplied, transformed beyond what was originally lost. Every midnight prayer that felt like it bounced off the ceiling, those prayers did not go unanswered. They were received. They were processed in a court you cannot see with your physical eyes. They were building a case. And that case reached its final conclusion 72 hours ago. Comment, I see it now below this video. If any of this is your story, if those words just landed somewhere deep inside you, type it right now. Let me tell you what has actually been happening for the past 1,826 days. Because it was not what you thought it was. You thought the struggle was random. You thought the delays were just how life works. You blamed yourself. You went back through your decisions looking for the error. The moment you chose wrong, the place where everything went sideways. But that is not what happened. For 1,826 days, there has been a coordinated spiritual operation targeting your life. Not random, not impersonal, targeted with surgical precision, specifically assigned to you. 12 entities were given jurisdiction over your case 1,826 days ago. They held a strategy meeting. They divided responsibilities among themselves. One assigned to your finances to create the ceiling, the leaks, the unexpected emergencies that drain whatever you accumulate. One assigned to your relationships to find the wounds you carry and send the exact people who would press on them. One assigned to your mind, specifically the hours between 2 and 4 in the morning when your defenses are at their lowest. One to your health, one to your purpose, one to your spiritual life, to make worship feel dry and prayer feel like a monologue at every moment you most needed it to feel alive. They studied you. They know your triggers. They know your weaknesses. They know exactly what to engineer to make you feel like you have been abandoned. They have been running this operation with strategic precision, not because you are weak, but because of what they know you carry inside you. Because the version of you that steps into what heaven prepared is a version they cannot operate around. That version changes generations. That version alters bloodlines. That version rewrites family histories. They knew who you were before you even knew yourself, and they deployed everything in their power to stop you from finding out. But here is what they could not account for. The faithfulness that kept showing up even when it felt completely pointless. The worship that continued even when it felt hollow. The prayers that kept rising even when they seemed unanswered. They built their entire operation around a version of you that would eventually break, and you refused to break. You bent so far it looked like breaking from the outside. But the root held, it always held. 72 hours ago, in a courtroom in a dimension you cannot access from here, a final ruling came down. The legal right those 12 entities had to operate against your life expired. The contract was voided. The verdict was unanimous and final, issued from the highest court that exists anywhere in any realm. And the moment that verdict was declared, something in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding your life shifted in a way that is completely irreversible. Right now, as you read these words, something is happening in your body. A warmth spreading through your chest. That is not your imagination. That is presence moving through the places where the weight has been living for far too long. You might feel something releasing in your shoulders, something you were not even aware you were carrying until this very moment when it is beginning to lift. You might feel tears rising without any specific reason. Let them come. They are not sadness. They are the breaking of a seal. Michael the Archangel has been dispatched with specific orders concerning your life. Not a generalized blessing, specific orders. Orders to restore what was blocked, recover what was taken, dismantle what was built against you, and open what has been sealed for 1,826 days. The operation against you is officially over. The assignment is canceled. The contract is void. Now let me tell you exactly what to watch for in the next 7 days. I am placing specific confirmations in your immediate future. Within 7 days, you will receive communication from someone you have not heard from in at least 3 years. A person from a chapter of your life you thought was permanently closed. The message will reference something specific from your shared history that could only be relevant to you right now. If something guides them to reach out, do not dismiss it as coincidence. It is a divine appointment wearing the mask of coincidence. Within 168 hours from this moment, a financial surprise is coming your way. Pay close attention to the amount. It will contain the digits 3, 7, or 11 somewhere in the number. It might be a refund you forgot about. It might be someone repaying something you had written off as lost. The money is coming, and the number in it is my signature on the transaction. Within the next 72 hours, someone in your regular orbit will say something that sounds like they read your private journal. A phrase, a question, an observation that lands with the weight of something meant specifically for you. That is me speaking through someone who does not even know they are carrying a message. You will have a dream in the next 7 days unlike your usual dreams, more vivid, more present. You will remember it when you wake up. It may involve water or a key or a door standing open or light breaking through darkness. Write it down immediately. What you dream in this season carries specific direction for your next steps. Now let me tell you about people who stood exactly where you are standing right now. Spikasia from Dallas had been unemployed for 14 months when she found a message like this. 14 months of applications leading to complete silence. Savings gone. Emergency fund gone. The night she watched this, she was sitting on the floor of her apartment because something about the floor matched how she felt inside. She typed 777 with hands still shaking from crying an hour before. 68 hours later, not 72, but 68, she received a LinkedIn message from a company she had applied to almost a year before and had completely given up on. The salary was $47,300, more than she had been making. She called to tell me and had to stop speaking 3 times because she was crying so hard. She kept saying, end quote, I cannot believe this is real, end quote. And then she said, end quote, but it is, end quote. Marcus from Atlanta had been carrying a medical diagnosis for 2 years. Treatments and waiting rooms and charts moving in the wrong direction. He watched a message like this one in the hospital parking lot sitting in his car because he could not make himself go inside. He typed 777 because he had nothing left to lose. 71 hours later, a scan came back different, not improved, gone. His doctor called him personally and said, end quote, I do not have a medical explanation for what I am looking at. End quote, Marcus said. End quote, I do. End quote. And that was the end of that appointment. Jennifer from Phoenix was 3 days from losing her house, not 3 weeks, 3 days. The foreclosure was already in process. She found this message at 11:47 at night, sitting at her kitchen table reading the same foreclosure documents she had read 17 times before. She typed the declaration. She closed her laptop and went to sleep for the first time in weeks with something close to peace. Within 68 hours, she received a call from an estate attorney about a settlement she was unknowingly entitled to as a beneficiary. The settlement was $83,700. Her house is now completely paid off. She now helps others facing what she once faced. She said one day she woke up and realized she had become someone else in Davos. Miracle. David from Chicago was 6 days from bankruptcy. Empty office, departed business partners, sitting alone at a desk that used to have 8 people around it. He found this message at 3:33 in the morning. He typed 777. His hands were steady because he had stopped feeling things by that point, which is actually worse than shaking. 73 hours later, an international firm reached out about acquiring his intellectual property. The offer was $77,000. He went from 6 days away from bankruptcy to funded and completely cleared in 73 hours. These are not constructed stories. These are real people who responded with obedience before they had any evidence that the obedience would be worth it. That is what faith actually is. Not a feeling, not certainty. Action in the complete absence of visible evidence. Your story is next. Now I need you to do something in the next 24 hours, not this week, not when the timing feels better. In the next 24 hours, 3 doors need to close, not reduce, not limit, close completely. The first door, that relationship that drains you. The name just came to your mind before I finished that sentence. The person who only shows up when they need something from you. The one who speaks discouragement while smiling. The one who makes you feel smaller after every interaction than you felt before it started. You have kept that door open because you are loyal. But heaven is saying clearly, the blessing that is coming cannot coexist with that energy. The door closes today, not out of bitterness, out of wisdom. You are not abandoning someone, you are protecting something that matters more than temporary comfort. The second door, that private pattern, the one that exists only when no one else is watching. Speak. Speak the habit that pulls your energy somewhere you never consciously chose. The thought loop that leaves you feeling like less than who you really are. This is not about shame. I am telling you that what has been feeding that pattern was designed. It was constructed specifically to keep your frequency low and your breakthrough distant. Cold stop when the urge arrives. Speak out loud. That door is closed. That version of me is finished. I am walking through a different door now. The third door, that fear dressed as wisdom. The voice that says, be realistic when heaven is saying, trust me completely. The voice that builds its case using your own past history as evidence. That voice is not caution. That voice is a squatter that has been living in a house it does not own, advising against every decision that would result in its eviction. In the next 24 hours, do one thing that voice has been telling you not to do. Send the email, make the call, submit the application, begin the thing. Fear does not have your best interest in mind. Fear has only its own continued residence in your life. Share this video with exactly 3 people in the next 24 hours. As you read that, names and faces are coming to your mind. That is not random association. That is the Spirit identifying who needs this word right now. When you send it, you are not forwarding a video. You are delivering a message that was also prepared for them. And the principle that operates without exception. When you activate breakthrough for others, breakthrough activates in your own life accelerated. Send it before this day ends. Subscribe and turn on every notification. The word coming next week may be the key for the door you have been standing in front of for years. Stay connected to this frequency. Subscribe now. Type Anquat, I stand for Manquat, in the comments right now. That declaration needs to echo in both the visible and invisible realms. Let me warn you about what is going to happen in the next 48 hours. The moment you type 777, the moment you decided to close those 3 doors, something changed in the atmosphere around your life. And the operation that has been running against you for 1,826 days felt that shift. An argument is going to erupt from nowhere. A conflict in your close relationships about something petty, disproportionate to the reaction it produces. That is designed. That is an attempt to pull you back into old emotional frequencies and drain the energy building toward your breakthrough. Someone from your past is going to make contact timed perfectly to your most uncertain moment. The very person you decided to close the door on may reach out with something that sounds like an apology or an opportunity. Do not re-engage. That contact is not reconciliation. That contact is recapture. Your own mind will mount an attack. A voice sounding exactly like your own saying very reasonable things. Quote, this is too good to be true. You know how these moments end. You cannot afford to get your hopes up again. And quote, that voice will use your real history as evidence against you. That voice is not wisdom. That voice is panic wearing the costume of practicality. It is the sound of a kingdom losing its legal hold on someone it thought it owned. This is where most people disqualify themselves from what they have been believing for. They get to the edge, they feel the shift, and they step back without even realizing it until the moment has already become a distant memory. When the counterattack arrives, speak this out loud with your own voice. I see what this is. I recognize this operation. I am not going back. The contract is void. The assignment is canceled. The legal right has expired. I belong to a different kingdom now. And what that kingdom has prepared for me is manifesting right now, in ways I can see and in ways I cannot see yet. Say it as many times as needed. The repetition is not weakness. The repetition is warfare. Receive this blessing now. Speak. Let every part of you that learned not to get too hopeful open right now, fully. Let what is being spoken land without the armor you built to protect yourself from one more disappointment. May your finances shift so dramatically you have to completely restructure how you think about money. May abundance become your new normal. May debts be canceled through sources you never pursued. May provision arrive through channels you never thought to stand in front of. May your body respond to heaven's frequency rather than earth's diagnosis. May healing move through every system, every cell, every place where something has been wrong for too long. May strength return where it has been absent. May vitality become the overwhelming reality of your daily life. May every toxic relationship detach with supernatural ease and without the drama you feared. May the right people be drawn into your orbit. May your close relationships deepen into something rare, real, and unshakable under pressure. May anxiety lose its grip on your mind. May the 3 a.m. thoughts that have tormented you find no landing place in you anymore. May clarity replace confusion in every area of uncertainty. May peace that defies your circumstances become your constant internal reality. May your children, or the children who will come, break cycles that have run in your family for generations. May they inherit a legacy categorically different from what came before. May generational patterns lose their power in your bloodline, starting today. May your calling announce itself so loudly that doubt cannot even finish a sentence. May your gifts open doors no human being could open for you. May the right people in authority recognize what you carry and create space for it in rooms you have not yet entered. May protection surround you and everyone you love. May every trap set for you collapse before you reach it. May every word spoken against you return void. May you move through this season untouched by what was aimed at you. Now I want to show you 2 possible versions of where you go from here. In the first version, you close this video and feel something for a few hours. You mean to share it with those 3 people. But the day gets complicated. You mean to close the 3 doors, but there is always a more convenient time. The feeling fades. Life continues in its familiar pattern. 6 months from now, this becomes another thing that almost happened. 3 years from now, you are still waiting in the same room, still asking the same questions at 3 in the morning. In the second version, you act before the feeling becomes a distant memory. You type the declaration. You close the 3 doors within 24 hours. You send this to those 3 people today. And 72 hours from now, you are texting someone with barely steady hands trying to describe what just happened. 3 years from now, you are the testimonial. You are the story someone else needed to hear to believe their own breakthrough was real. Both futures exist right now as full possibilities. Only your decision in this moment determines which one you walk into. Type, "I choose breakthrough" in the comments right now. Not later. Those 3 words are a covenant. A line in the sand. Type it with conviction and mean every single word. You came to this video in one condition. You cannot leave it the same way. You are the soul that heaven moved through 47 million accounts to reach. You are the one that millions scrolled past because this specific message was not prepared for them. It was prepared for you with precision that goes back further than your memory can reach. You are seen. Every tear that fell in the dark, every prayer that felt like silence, every day you kept going without a visible reason to continue. All of it recorded, all of it valued, all of it building towards something that is not coming. It is here, in this moment, in the decision you are making right now. The 3 doors are waiting to be closed. The 3 people are waiting for what you are about to send them. The 3 confirmations are already in motion, already on their way to you in the next 7 days. Your breakthrough is not somewhere in the future, it is here. The only thing standing between you and everything you have been crying for at 3 in the morning is the decision to believe that none of this was random, that you were not forgotten, that the one who kept you through everything that tried to take you out has not kept you this long just to leave you where you are.